to the Witch's Cauldron. My name's Paula. Today's video is on runes, specifically Elder Futhark Runes. Now, gonna make a confession. This is not one of my favorite things to use for divination. My go-to is tarot cards. That's what I bonded with. However, this year it is my goal to try and actually bond with the runes on a deeper level than what I do. However, the way that I use runes is in my magic. Okay, that means creating sigils, protections, things of that nature. There is in the description box a link to a Google Doc that gives you a little bit of the history, the actual rune meanings, and also some suggested ways to do rune castings. These are very basic, very high level meanings. This is in no means a deep dive into runes. Okay, this is high level kind of stuff. Okay, as I said, it was not until more modern history that runes really became popular for divination. Okay, so the way that you can kind of break down runes is think about the tarot deck, right? You have your major arcana, and then you have the four suits. You have upright and reversed meanings. So the runes are broken into three etir. And I will put the spelling of that here because I am going to murder some of the pronunciations. Please forgive me. I have found 13 different ways how to pronounce etir, and I'm going with my gut here. So there are actually 24 runes, and it's 3 families, which is a tier of 8 runes each. Now, often you get 25 if you buy them and with 1 blank. There is no historical use for a blank rune. This was invented in the 80s. I personally, when I do a rune casting, do not use a blank rune. I just keep that stone as an extra. Then if I lose one of my runes, I can, inscribe it again, and, I'm okay. So it has no basis historically from runes. All right. Now, the 3 families that are involved, the first one is related to the first rune in each of the 3 families, and they are affiliated with a god or goddess, okay, over that family. So the very first one, the first rune in the first line, I will put, I'm going to throw it over here, what the runes look like, and they're broken down into the 3 families or et. The first one is related to Fehu, and this is Freyia. Okay. The second family is related to the first rune in there, which is Gallows, and that is Heimdall's it. The third is related to Tiwaus, and this is Tears et. So, and et means like family or grouping. Okay. So let's start talking about the individual runes. Okay, as in tarot, I mentioned, you have different spreads or castings. Okay, they can be as simple or as complicated as you want. When you're first starting with the runes, you know my advice that I gave you in tarot was keep it simple, stupid. I really learned runes by doing like a daily pull. Was just general guidance for the day. Okay, a one rune pull. And then that was the easiest way for me to learn and get really comfortable with my runes. Okay, so the very first one, I'm going to pop pictures of the runes up here as we go through, as well as giving you some of the meanings. As I said, check the description box. There is a Google Doc there. Please don't try to make changes to the Google Doc because you just messed me up. It has to do with, you know, the different resolutions between Macs and PCs and iPads and this and that and the other and all the different kinds of stuff. When I lay it out, all the page breaks are right, all the formatting's right, you know, blah, blah, blah. Please don't try and edit the daggone document. It just takes me too long to get rid of all the stuff in it. So the very first one in Freyya's is Fei Hu. Okay, this represents the letter F, and it represents like it's affiliated with like domestic cattle and wealth. So in the upright position, it's about earned income, possessions won or earned, income, luck, abundance, your financial strength, in either the present or in the near future. It's also a sign of hope, and plenty and success and happiness can be affiliated with social success. It's also referring to energy and foresight, creation, in the reversed position. It's a loss of personal property, esteem, or something that you had put in a lot of effort. It's an indication of some type of failure. It can also represent greed, burnout, cowardice, poverty, slavery, bondage, things of that nature. Okay. Now the next one is Urus. Okay, and it represents the letter U, and that is an auroch, which is a wild ox. And if you think about ox, they are just really physically strong. They were, you know, used for their strength. Okay. It's about speed and untamed potential. It's about freedom, courage, strength, tenacity, understanding. It can usually be an indication of unexpected changes or sudden changes, usually for the better. It also can be affiliated with sexual desire and masculine potency. In the reversed position, Urus is weakness, obsession, a misdirected force. It can be an indication of sickness. It can also represent lust or brutality, violence, and callousness. Okay. The next is Thurisas, and this is representative of TH or that sound. And this is representative of thorn or a giant. Okay. This is about a reactive force. This is a force of destruction and defense, of conflict. It's your instinctual will. It can be a change. It can be a purging, a cleansing fire. It's also associated with male sexuality. Thurisas reversed is danger, being defenseless, having a compulsion, being betrayed, It can also indicate evil, malice, hatred. It can also sometimes indicate sexual assault or rape. Okay. The next in Frères et is Ansus, and this is representative of the letter A, which is the ancestral god Odin. And it's a revealing message or insight. It's communication. It's signals. It's vision, a power of words and naming something. It's blessings. It's taking good advice. It can be indicative of good health, harmony, truth, and wisdom. Ansus in the reversed position is a misunderstanding. It can be a delusion. It can be being manipulated by someone else. And it can be vanity. Okay. The next one in Frères et is Ratha. And this is representative of like the modern letter R. And it's a wagon or a chariot. So Ratha is about travel, both in terms of physical travel and direction of your life. Okay. It's a journey, a vacation, evolution, having to relocate, change of place, or the change of setting. It's the need to see a larger perspective. It's about the right move for you to take and then deciding on it. Okay. Ratha reversed is like being in crisis. It's about you being too rigid. It's about an injustice, being irrational. It's disruption. It's demotion. It can also possibly represent a death, a physical death. Kanos is the next, and that's representative of the modern letter K. And it's a beacon or a torch. Okay, this is vision, revelation, knowledge, inspiration, technical abilities, harnessed power, the fire of transformation, generating your own reality, the power of light. It's also about passion and sexual love. Kanos reversed is diseased, is disease. It's about a breakup, it's instability, lack of creativity, false hope. Okay. The next is Gaybo, which is representative of the modern letter G, and it's a gift. Okay. This is gifts both in generosity and sacrifice, and it's indicating a balance. All right. It's in relation to exchanges and including contracts, personal relationships, and partnerships. Now, if you look at Gaybo, it cannot be reversed, but it can be lying in opposition to another rune that like falls next to it or lies next to it. And it can mean greed, loneliness, dependence, sacrificing too much, obligation, and bribery. It can also mean bribery. Now, the next one is Wunyo, and that represents like W or V, and it's joy. So this is joy, it's comfort, pleasure, harmony. It's a spiritual reward, but it can mean that you're going over the top, like you're just too out there on something. Wunyo reversed is sorrow, strife, being alienated. It can represent like delirium and intoxication. It can be like rage and frenzy, and think of like a berserker. Okay. Now, in Heimdall's it, the very first one is Gallows, and that is H or hail. And this is wrath of nature. It's a destructive, uncontrolled force, especially destructive weather. It's about testing and trial in a controlled environment. It's like leading to completion and getting to like inner peace. Now, Gallows can't be reversed, okay, but it can lie in opposition to another rune, okay? So that's natural disaster, a catastrophe, pain, loss, suffering, hardship, sickness, crisis. The next is Nauthies. This is in and it's need. This is delays, restriction, resistance, leading to strength, innovation, need, self-reliance. It can be distress. It can be a will to overcome your problems. Now these reversed is constraints to your freedom, distress, toil, want, deprivation, starvation, need, poverty, and it can also be an emotional hunger. I have had this come up in cases where somebody ended up going to jail. So, constraint of their freedom. Okay. The next is Esau. And this is representative of the modern letter I, and it's for ice. So this is a challenge or frustration, psychological blocks or thought or activity. This can be a standstill. This particular rune enforces runes around it, reinforces runes around it. It can't be reversed, but it can lie in opposition. And when it's in opposition, it's blindness, treachery, illusion, deceit, betrayal, being ambushed, plots against you. And it can also be somebody that's egomaniacal. Okay. Yarl is the next. This is representative of J or Y, and it's a year, a good harvest. So this is when your efforts are realized, okay? It's fruitful season. It's a breakthrough from a stagnancy or a breakthrough, so that now you're moving forward again. It's about peace and prosperity. It's a promise of success that has been earned. It can also be life cycles and patterns in the universe. It cannot be reversed, but it can lie in opposition. This can be a sudden setback, reversals, a major change, bad timing, poverty, and conflict. Now, the next is Iwaus. And this is like representative of the letters E and I together. And it represents a yew tree. And that's about strength, reliability, dependability, being trustworthy, defense, protection, motivation, and a sense of purpose. Iwal's reversed is confusion, destruction, and weakness. Perthrow is representative of the letter P. Remember I said, they would cast lots. This is a lot cup or a vagina. So this is about a mystery, a secret matter, hidden things, occult abilities, knowledge of one's destiny, and initiation, determining the future of your path. Now, pertaining to things feminine, it's about female fertility and the vagina. in good lot, it's a, fellowship and joy. Now, Perthro reversed is an addiction, stagnation, loneliness, or a sense of malaise. Something's wrong. Okay. The next is Algies, and this is representative of Z or R, and it's elk and protection. It's protection, a shield. The protective urge to shelter yourself or others. It's warding off an evil, connection with the gods, an awakening, a higher life. It can channel energies. It's telling you to follow your instincts. And Algies reversed is a hidden danger, consumption by divine forces, loss of divine link, taboo, warning, turning away, and something that repels. The next is Salwelo, and this is S in the sun. This is success, honor, health, victory, success, contact between higher self and the unconscious. Now, it cannot be reversed, but it can lie in opposition, and it can mean false goals, receiving bad counsel from someone, destruction, the wrath of God, basically, and retribution and justice. The final family is Tirzed, and the first one is Tiwaus, and this is representative of Ti and Tyr, the sky god. Honor, justice, leadership, and authority, willingness to self-sacrifice, victory and success in legal matters. Okay, reversed. It's your creative flow or blocked. It's like analysis paralysis, overanalyzing things, failure in a competition, dwindling passions, injustice, imbalance, possibly a separation in a partnership or a relationship. Berkano is B, which is Berkta, the birch goddess. That's fertility, birth, physical and personal growth, regenerative power, renewal, new beginnings, new growth, and arousal of desire, a new love affair, or new birth. Now, reversed. This is family problems or domestic troubles. It's anxiety about someone that's close to you. It's carelessness, loss of control, deceit, sterility. Iwas is representative of the letter E, and it's horse, two horses. Okay, transportation. And this can be a horse, a car, a plane, a boat, any kind of vehicle. Okay, it's movement and change for the better. It's steady progress, teamwork, trust, loyalty, harmony, an ideal marriage or partnership, and it's confirmation beyond the doubt of the meaning of the runes that are around it. Okay, reversed. It's not really a negative rune. The change may be craved. It may be a sense of feeling a little restless, and you may feel like you don't really trust somebody, something like that. The next is Manos, and this is representative of the letter M, and it's man or mankind. This is the self, the individual or the human race. It's your attitude toward others and how others perceive you. Friends, enemies, it's social order, it's intelligence, it's divine structure, it's you can expect to receive some sort of cooperation or aid. Okay, reversed. It's indicative of depression, mortality, being blind to something, self-delusion, craftiness, calculation, and expect no help. Okay. The next is Laogoos. This is representative of the letter L, or water or a leak. So this is flow, water, sea, a source of fertility, healing power of renewal. It's life energy, it's psychic matters, dreams, fantasies, mysteries of the unknown, the hidden, the underworld. It's success in travel or acquisition, but there's a possibility of a loss. Laogoos reversed is confusion. You could be making the wrong decisions or having poor judgment about someone or something. It's a lack of creativity, being in a rut. It's avoidance. It's a withering. It can be despair. It can be sickness. And it can mean someone is contemplating suicide. The next is Ingwaus. This is Ng, and this is Ing, the earth god. This is about male fertility, gestation, internal growth. This is common virtues, common sense, family love. It's the home and human warmth. It's a rest stage. It may be a time of relief. No anxiety. This is when all the loose strings have been tied up. Listen to yourself and to your intuition. It cannot be reversed, but it can be in opposition, and it can be an indication of impotence. It can also be movement without any change, and it can be toil or hard labor or work. Laogoos is representative of the letter D, the day or the dawn. This is an awakening. It's a breakthrough. It's awareness. It's a power of change and transformation. It's hope and happiness, security, growth and release. It's a balance. It can't be reversed, but it can also indicate, it can lie in opposition and indicate a completion and ending, coming full circle, being hopeless. Okay. Othala is O, and this is ancestral property. So this is inherited property or possessions, a house, a home. It's group order. It is group prosperity. It's the land of your birth, spiritual heritage, experience, and fundamental values. It's a source of safety, increase, and abundance, reversed. It's a lack of customary order. It can mean slavery, poverty, homelessness, bad karma, prejudice, clannishness, provincialism, and what you are bound to. Now, like I said, some people have the blank rune. I'm going to do another short video on rune casting and a general idea of what to do with your runes once you get ready to start use them for divination. And I'm also going to give you some ideas how to do runic magic. Okay, so with that, my friends, that's it for this video. Keep your eyes out for the second one. Be sure to check out the description box. There will be the link to Freyia Norling's channel. She is wonderful. I'm also going to link my Amazon store. I have on there sets of runes. I have books that I have read. Here's one of them. If you remember, I gave one of these books away and one of my giveaways on the channel. This is Runes for Beginners by Lisa Chamberlain. My link to my Amazon store for the US and the UK will be in the description box. I do have to disclose that if you use those links in the store to purchase anything, I do earn a small commission. And I thank you for supporting the channel, but you don't have to use my links. It's just easier for me to put products that I recommend, books I've read, and things of that nature in these storefronts, so you can go, and if you ever want to know where I get my candles and certain items from, things of that nature, books that I've read, books that I recommend, you can always check out my Amazon stores and find out, what I recommend on just about any subject. Okay, so with that, my friends, you know what I always say: merry we did meet, merry we will part until we merry meet again. Be well and walk in love and light, everybody. Bye.